We are 3 weeks away from our debut on Ace. Last week was a week that, much like this week, transitional. We're just trying to get the last couple people over as much as I can ahead of the Ace debut, so that way every match has meaning, is what I hope. Every match has a storyline purpose behind it, like full blown, like kind of like modern Raw, where every match there's no random matches anymore, or like the Attitude Era, where like quote unquote every match had a story. So we will have some throwaway matches here and there, pre-show notwithstanding. But this is next couple weeks. We got 3 more weeks, including tonight, to get to where I want to be ahead of the Ace debut. But we do have a great main event set, so um, we'll have to look out for that. All right, we finally debut the Big Trouble and Peter Valentine as a tag team. They don't roll great chemistry, bad chemistry, so we'll probably ride with it. And this will be like a bruiser tag team that will get a little bit of a push eventually after I get settled in on Ace. But we do start off the show Ripcord. He's with Barry Bowen talking about how he's a champion now, and he brags about it. But he also talks about how Tommy Cornell and Brent Hill had a little bit of a fight last week. So this week they're going to team up versus the Vessies in the main event tonight. And he wants them, the Syndicate, to thrive together, or he's going to have to take care of it himself. Like kind of just like telling them to figure their stuff out and to focus on him being champion and how they can help him. We go into Heartthrob versus Electrico. Heartthrob is Remy, Heartthrob is Luchador. He gets a win here, clean victory over Electrico. I don't think it would hurt Electrico losing to Heartthrob like Romeo. The story is that Romeo without the mask, terrible; with the mask, solid. And eventually that will lead to the mask versus mask match. Um, we might even run this back, but that's like my long-term goal is like a mask versus mask match with Heartthrob. We have I realized I had like the two storylines of the baby faces being recruited by heels. So I had Damien Carville beat up Steve Flash, where Steve Flash just rejects his offer, and Carville beats him up. So that way the Professor Near and Jeb Langley storyline that will go longer can breathe. And I felt like having two of those stories at once kind of is redundant. I That was an oversight by me. I just wanted to be honest, that Professor Nira and Jed Langley promo is going to be a throwaway, but I think it's turning into something. We have the All Pro duo picking up a win here over Nation of Filth. This is more or less a throwaway, but to show they don't always need a cheat to win, and they can win clean with Jesse Christian actually getting the win here. So that's going to be like the duality of the team is Jesse Christian wins clean, RP Jr. wins by cheating normally. Um, and just to have a little bit of fun with it. We have Liberty announcing he's going to have an open challenge next week for his international title. And this is just to set up the main event next week. Liberty, I'm thinking Dark Eagle. I'm thinking maybe Danger Kid. But someone on the roster already, no surprises, will face Liberty for the title in our main event next week in an open challenge. Speaking of next week, we have Charlie Homicide and Jason Jackson both challenge Frankie Future for the hardcore title. And he says, all right, whoever wins between you two next week, I got you, and we'll have a hardcore title match. It's not as like friendly as that. Naturally, it's a little more hostile with Charlie Homicide, but that's pretty much the gist of the angle is to set up the number one contender match for the hardcore title next week. Then, okay, again, Richard Blood, 27 popularity, Joel Bryan at 32. I had Richard win here, kept Joel strong. um, to get Richard over a little bit more ahead of the Ace debut, and just one of those throwaway matches get a little more popularity across the board. We have Troy Tornado. Ooh, interesting. We have Troy Tornado and Jeb Langley teaming up versus the Black Serpent Cult. More or less a throwaway match here, as well as testing out their chemistry, and can have Professor Nero like ringside or whatever, continuing his pitch to Jeb Langley, but might have a new budding tag team here. And the good thing with Troy Tornado and Jeb Langley is like their strengths are to get like equal together, where they're both better promos than in ring. So they could be. Hmm, our tag division's getting a little stacked. And to be honest, I think this if they work out as a tag team, assuming I don't turn them heel, that does give me the liberty. Well, okay, poor choice of words. It does give me the freedom to turn like the Vessies heel or turn the Blazing Flames heel. Over the next year, as we have already the next mid card babyface tag team ready. So we're really getting pretty deep in the tag team division. But yeah, this is meant to be a throwaway match to get just Troy Tornado and Jeb a little more popularity. Um, but we'll be lucky into some chemistry. Coach Dick gives a hype speech to the Vessies. This is just to tell like just basic manager hype. Like a coach, not like in any given Sunday speech like Al Pacino, but maybe like a B sports movie speech. I'm trying to think. Not even remember the Titan speech of like, and they'll never forget the night they. Nope, nothing that classic or iconic. Just like reciting a speech he saw on TV. We have Travis Sentry being coy as to why BLZ Bub helped RP Jr. to retain the tag titles. Um, I gotta add them to the storyline so this continues, but kind of slow burn with that as much as I can. See if I can extend it out to the next pay-per-view, but we'll have to see. We have Sid Streets saying he's happy to team with his brother, but he still wants world title gold. Kind of also calling his shot at Ripcord, which we had Eric Tyler last week. So we'll build to the one-on-one match, the rematch of Sid Streets versus Eric Tyler on our Ace debut. Um, we're building to that here. And in our main event, we have Brent Hill and Tommy Cornell losing to Brian and Larry Vesey. I would have had Brent Hill and Tommy Cornell have a miscommunication leading to the Veseys picking up the win here. I should have did a creative finish idea, but to be honest, I just never thought it. Like I didn't think. I just don't use them enough to think about them. But solid rating, solid show. Probably, I'm hoping we beat SWF. The Troy Tornado and Jeb Langley um, chemistry is huge because I had a direction for Jeb for Total Mayhem, and we'll still follow through with that. But then post Total Mayhem, I wasn't sure what to do, as we'll have to go in, and it's like perfect because the way I've been booking Troy is like the immature babyface, like just haha, and having Jeb be much of the same, but he's more serious now, so we can have him go back to the happy lucky. We do beat SWF again. Um, there's a lot of times where if they switch their semi-main and their main, we're probably losing. Normally it's Christian Faith in the semi-main and Sean McFly like this tag. Normally the semi-main of the tag match, Sean McFly is just Supreme versus someone, and the main event doesn't have a great rating. But then Christian Faith versus like Adonis has like a great rating. So they're just kind of cursed there. But another win over SWF. Let's look at I think really Richard and then Troy Jeb popularity, and then we'll get it rolling here. Where's your blood? So he went up 4 with that win, and he went up 1 last week with the win. And where's Joel? Joel went down 1, but he was up 1 this month already, so it's perfect. I think he manages Eric Tyler, so he'll get that like popularity increase just by teaming with him. Yeah, Joe Wayne was already more popular than Cobra and Viper, so he didn't go up. And then where's Troy? Troy didn't go up either. He went up 1 or 2 in some areas. That's fine. I'm completely cool with that. Trying to think if there's anyone else we need to check out. Nope. Also, I just realized this is Brent Hill took the pinfall. So this is Tommy Cornell's first loss, but he didn't take the pinfall. That's something I want to build to, maybe, and have that be like a little storyline beat. But yeah, I feel like we got a good direction going here for our debut on Ace, which we are 2 weeks away. Where next week's the 23rd show, then the 30th, and then January 6th Endgame will be our debut on Ace. And in between, we'll have an end of year recap. But all right, thank you guys for watching. Talk to you next time. the next two episodes are like they're gonna be like this, probably a little bit shorter, as not much to talk about besides like we're pushing this guy, and this guy is 50-50 booking, and I can talk more about that maybe next episode of like my thought process. But end of the year we'll kind of go over the popularity growth of the whole entire roster. But all right, talk to you guys next time.